Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range. And we've had some important changes for the video today. Unfortunately, Ginny Jablonski called a very short while ago and said that she had a family emergency and she was not able to make the show today, but she will be here next week, Friday. And I called around to several people because sometimes it's hard to get somebody last minute. But Mr. Drake Bailey was more than happy to fill in, and he has some information that because he talks to animals or can communicate with animals in wells. We'll talk about that some, but we also have some other breaking news that we'll bring on, and we're also going to have the dot connector joining us today as well. So this is going to be a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And we always have a good time. So welcome, Drake, and welcome,
Everybody?
Christine.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello.
I got to turn you down a little bit. You're too loud. Okay. Thank you. All right, where should we start? I don't even know where to start. This kind of threw me off today. But Drake, you had told me you are able to communicate with animals, correct?
Yeah,
How?
I have regular conversations with the wild animals up here, along with some that are domesticated, and it can be anything from a cat and dog up to a Holstein. The deer like the conversation. They're not quite sure what to make of it, but it's there anyway. And there's a difference between me and a whisperer. I don't just whisper. I have an actual, honest to God, like I'm talking right now, conversation.
Interesting. Well, I don't know the exact nature of her communication with her animals. All I know is that they call that a horse whisperer or a soul whisperer. Exactly how it manifests, I'm not sure, but it may be in the same way that you do. But
Yeah.
my question is, how do they? Do you communicate through pictures or actual words?
Well, it's a combination. When you start out, things are kind of muddled. I don't know if you're familiar with telepathy, but when you work with a species that's dissimilar from your own, whether it's a deer or a grasshopper or ET or who it might be, a lot of the times it starts out being muddy. And you work through that with a combination of the continual muddy along with the images and we call that a coffee pot or man, look at that vodka bottle. She just took a swig out, or whatever it might be, and go from there. um, anyway, it slowly will evolve. I've got some really good connections with some entities that I consider extremely important to go along with the deer and red fox and let's see, a few others that are running around here loose.
Well, what about pixies and fairies and those little creatures that take care of nature? Do you get to talk to them at all?
Yeah, I try to stay away from the fae. They're kind of mischievous.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I did
the true fairies this are only reported in ancient folklore from England, and everybody knows that that's where it originated. They were imported by accident now, not like that, to the North and South American continents. Now, South America has a variety, and we have a variety, and England has a variety, and I mean, they're just all kind of them all over the place.
Well, that's really cool. I do talk to the trees myself, but I don't always get communication back as I know it anyway. But and I have had several experiences of telepathy, but I don't feel really skilled at it at this point in time.
Well,
I
it's a
s-
telepathy type of thing. Okay, if you've had telepathic experiences, then you know how to do it. Basically, the difference is bringing human and walnut tree or whatever it is together to where they make sense, and that's the trick. Um, I can talk to any number of critters, uh, and let me explain something. The quickness of the acceptance and the ability to uh, talk like I am now in words is not necessarily a slow process. It can happen
okay.
almost instantaneously. It
Well,
depends on the sentience level of the being you're talking to, be it a tree or what it might be.
oh,
I
hey,
have a
some.
question, Drake, or do you
Yes.
mind?
No.
Um, Sometimes when I'm very centered and feel like I'm working with spirit, especially in conversations with some people that are very close to me, my speech changes. It's more difficult to speak and it gets choppy at that moment. It's almost more like because maybe we will be turning more telepathic, it's harder to talk. Like your cat doesn't need to talk because they're totally telepathic. I don't know if that
Well,
makes sense.
yes, it does to me. Now, here's how it is. Um, you got to understand that this ability, everybody has this ability. There
Mm-hmm.
is nobody that's excluded. So,
Sure.
consequently, when you have a telepathic type of experience, see what kind of adjustments are available. Believe me, you'll find a control panel with knobs and buttons, and oh, it gets fun. I mean, you can be talking to somebody in English over the internet, say, in Russia, and all of a sudden they start speaking Russian, and you're still speaking English, and you both understand each other perfectly clearly. That's the same kind of thing that happens with different animals,
Wow.
depending on, like I said, the sentient level of the being that you're talking to makes a lot of difference. Okay.
Very
Wow.
interesting. I've had similar experiences of what Christine is talking about as well. I just never knew exactly what it was. But anyway, there was something that was put in the chat and I don't want to miss it, so I'm going to bring it up, okay? I
All
hope
right.
that I hope it works with
I
the. Nope, that's not it. It
Mhm.
moved, sorry.
much love to you too.
Um God darn it. Let me see if this is it. Just wanted everyone to know. Okay, this is it. It's not off topic because we're going into breaking news as well. And this is, you're actually brought up some breaking news trail riding bandits. I like your name. Anyway, Dean's Foods, the largest Northern Illinois fluid milk producer, is closing 3 facilities near Chicago, Green Bay, and Northern Illinois. Interesting.
Well, that's not
Didn't,
too bad because
yeah.
they take 1 gallon of good milk and make 4 out of it. Then they put white stuff in there to make it look good and add calcium to it. It's all chemicals by the time you get it.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
I've been
Um,
drinking. I've been drinking whole milk since I was a preteen on my grandma's farm. No, let me tell
well,
you.
I had
One
a
guy, dude,
my
go ahead.
grandparents had a small dairy farm too, and we always got the real milk.
Yeah.
Wasn't even pasteurized,
Well,
and
this is from
nobody
a
ever got sick. And all of these things that they have sold to us about why we should do this and that and the other thing, a lot of it's a bunch of hogwash.
job.
So okay. Let's see, what's this one? Here's another. We'll pay attention. Here's another comment. We have lost our jobs and businesses, which starts tomorrow. This is indicative of the food industry issues we are about to encounter on a nationwide scale. There will be milk product shortages here. Um,
Uh-huh.
well, what
You
can I
were
say?
warned. Everybody was warned that there would be food shortages. Well, until somebody in our military grows a pair of whatevers and goes over and starts sinking Russian ships that are blockading the wheat, we're going to have problems. Now, that said, Biden needs to be told to get a horse manure in terms of not allowing us to use the fossil fuels we've already got available. So, you know, if we turned on the spigot, and by that I mean the fossil fuels, the price of fuels like gasoline and diesel and things like certain kinds of fertilizers that use gas and whatnot in it, you could turn what we got from a dastardly deed into something decent. Yeah.
I need to shut off my phone. That just reminded me of something.
Okay. Roe
Okay.
versus
Roe versus Wade. This is big right now. And I think it's a distraction because at the same time, the selection process is being decertified in a number of states, and they don't want people to concentrate on that. But anyway, what's your comment on that, Drake?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Supreme Court did the right thing, first of all, because it shouldn't have been something that was adjudicated at the federal level. It should have been left to people to decide. You want one, fine. You don't want one, fine. But you make it a law in the state that you're in,
and you vote on it
as to whether it's available or what. And you know, in cases of rape, incest, and nasty things of that nature, fine. As a convenience, not so much, not at all. I don't believe it's right, but in those cases I mentioned, and you know, it's something else has come up in that a lot of the news media now, the freer ones, are reporting that Antifa and BLM tend to riot over this decision, and the National Guard and the U.S. military is on high alert. So I'd like to see how Antifa and BLM does against battle tanks.
Well, I agree with you with everything you've just said. And I really look at this now. If we can spin this around to the positive and to what our responsibility could be, what difference we can make, we can use this as an opportunity to shine our light, stay away from big crowds, stay away from, where people congregate. Don't be pulled into that fear, right? Drake, like you just talked on your show Saturday, fear versus reality. Don't let them win. Share the light with your fellow human beings, and let's show them by example this can be peaceful and harmonious. It does not have to be negative.
Well, they want to make it negative, in my opinion. That's why they're having it now, just as the other states are beginning to decertify the selection that went on.
I agree that's their strategy, but I'm saying let's fight back.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no, that's great. That's great.
I'm sorry, Drake. Go ahead.
That's all right. Being as positive as anyone can be. Now, I don't care who that might be. There's one problem. There are some hard case nuts out there that won't understand anything less than being executed, like it or not. I don't know how many there are, and I do think that just a few of the very limited number of executions, and I'm talking about by people such as myself. I'll execute certain people in a heartbeat.
Some of them are soulless, or don't even have a heart
that's
chakra.
what I'm talking about. You want to take those mothers out, okay? If you do a few of them, the big glob of people that would normally follow, like the big crowds that BLM come up with, fade away. They go home. Nobody wants to deal with that.
It's just I just found
Ooh.
it so interesting that this all of a sudden pops up at this time, you know?
We're
It's
getting
by
close to the
design,
elections.
you know?
We're gonna have
Ex
some fodder for the political machines to chomp on. Uh-huh.
I think there's
Six to
a
three.
lot of changes happening right now,
It
and
seems
a
to be
lot of
moving
things.
forward a lot faster, doesn't it?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
everything's happening really fast. Don't you think?
Have you ever seen a big snowball that somebody accidentally creates in a
That's
cartoon?
right.
It
Yeah.
kind of get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Well, right now, at present, the electoral is looking to double. Now, you can quote me if you want. Double the Republican shift. The reason being is that blacks, Latinos, and other minority and poor people have finally come to the realization that the party in power hasn't done diddly squat for them in over 100 years. And they said, "Oh yeah, well, let's see what they do when they don't got a job. Let's send them to Mickey D's and they can flip burgers."
Actually, they'd be better off in Gitmo myself, but anyway.
Oh, we ought to send them to Russia. They closed all of the Mickey D's in Russia, and Russia now has their own version of Mickey D's. And they said it don't taste the same, but it'll do. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Good. I'm
Okay.
glad they did that.
Okay, here's something going on here. Are some food shortages or fires due to the white hats? Let's answer that
First of
question
all, that
first.
question answer is no.
Thank you. One of the next part of it is many are allergic to wheat, whether they know it or not, and oxidized vegetable oil is extremely toxic, causes insulin resistance and heart failure. These exact problems have been addressed in a video that I did with Dr. Stephanie Seneff. This is very glyphosate related.
Yes.
Ooh.
Wheat is desiccated with glyphosate, and so are some of the other crops. Those large, super large monocropping farming companies have destroyed our health by buying into Monsanto's seeds and red in
Oh,
what
what's
do they
this?
call it?
What a mess that is. Dot connectors has filled up the whole thing.
I
I
don't know what that is.
don't either. I
So
can tell you this. I would suggest everybody and their mother-in-law uh, plant popcorn. Everywhere you can find a place to plant it. Plant it all over the place. Then we'll set fire to the planet. And I understand ET likes popcorn anyway, so
whoa,
we'll
okay.
set fire to the planet and everything. Yeah,
Everything
want to blow
pops.
the place up? There you go.
Okay. But anyway, back to the thing about the insulin resistance and heart failure. Um, Dr. Seneff also talks about how her husband had type 2 diabetes. They changed to organic food and he doesn't have it anymore. It went away. And she also addressed the subject of metformin and how bad that is for you. So many of the things that they have done and we've allowed, we have to take responsibility for what we've allowed, but part of that is because of our heart center. We wouldn't believe that these companies or agencies would be as evil as they are.
Thyroid support stops about 90% of the fun and games. Some of the other things that you and I both mentioned, we mentioned it. Let's see, we had a show. When was that? On Wednesday. Um, we discussed some of the detoxing effects of things. Uh, if everybody would listen and pay attention, you'll find out that it's not expensive in any way, shape, or form to have these items available, and they work.
Here's I just putting this up here because it's kind of funny. Is this a bad time to stop drinking? Laugh out loud.
It depends on what it is. I like my Crown Royal. Oh boy.
I think that's funny. Anyway, thank you for that comment.
Gail,
That
I'm putting up the link for the video with Stephanie that
uh-huh.
you did
Okay.
in the chat. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Where's it going to be?
It's in the chat.
Oh,
So
it's in the
it's in it,
chat.
yeah.
There you go.
Diabetes is effective to steal your electricity and take out of balance to eat natural diet and take your power back. Yeah,
There's a
that
okay.
worked.
I'm trying to scroll through here and see what I can. Let me see what this says. Okay.
Uh-oh.
There will be many more unwanted children. Good people will need to step up and foster, adopt, especially the special needs children and adult. The state will pay a fair amount to foster children and adults. That's one of the things that I think is a big issue. You have all these people that are, especially in the Catholic realm, anti-abortion, and it's not like I'm in favor of it either. So don't misinterpret what I'm saying. But these very same people turn around and be hypocrites when it comes to helping a single mother that needs help because she did get pregnant and could have been an accident for all you know. But if she goes on social services or welfare, she's looked down upon. And I just think that whole behavior is very hypocritical. That's just
Yeah,
my comment.
yeah, agreed. Oh,
Thank you.
you're
I
going to
appreciate
change
it when
the
you agree
question
with me.
now that
What's
you
this
got
next one?
Uh-oh.
Here's one. Yeah, Blue. Yeah, I agree. I already adopted one, but unfortunately, until this blessing comes, I can't afford to adopt anymore, and it breaks my heart.
Can I interject a little something here?
Please do.
Okay, there's a whole lot of people I've heard that thinks we're going to 5D. No, we got to go through 4 first. Runs in numerical order. Bear that in mind. Keep your mind straight on it. As to the children and the effects we're looking at having, okay, very simple. The transition will solve most all of these problems because you're going to get replicators. That means you can feed everybody, among other things. And these are some of the partial answers that ET is going to provide for us. Okay.
Okay. Sacred
Oh,
gardens, not allergic to wheat, allergic to synthetic, and that's not true. Okay, yeah, some are allergic to synthetic agreements, artificial flavors, and so on, and the fake sweeteners. I agree with all of that, but the wheat allergies or the gluten problems are directly related to glyphosate, and it's in all of our foods, and they
uh-huh.
desiccate,
As proven by
the. Go ahead,
What?
Christy. Go ahead,
Stephanie's
Christy.
research.
Yeah,
In that video, Stephanie's research really proves it. And she
Yeah.
has a book called Toxic Legacy: How Glyphosate is Ruining Our Environment.
and our children's health.
Yes.
Can
I mean,
I
if you look at the charts that she didn't have it in this last one, but she had it in a previous one that I did with her. Diabetes and obesity, they go up in direct relationship to the introduction of the GMOs and the Roundup glyphosate. So it's all related.
let me throw something in there and don't take that question down. Not allergic to wheat. Well, guess what? If you get the ancient wheat, not this artificially produced garbage we have today, if you get the ancient wheat that grew in Egypt and whatnot,
Mhm.
it doesn't have any of these effects. Think about
Exactly.
that very carefully.
Exactly. I
And
agree with you 100%, Drake.
well,
Because
guess
in
what?
Italy, I've
They're,
heard people.
they're importing that stuff now over here to be grown. Pretty soon, America is going to have the original organic ancient wheat.
Oh, good. What
That
are we going to
doesn't
do
do
about the soil to remediate the soil because they've ruined the soil in so many
Yeah,
ways?
you'd be amazed if anybody out there really wants to know. Look up a website called Soil Science, and it covers all that. It takes less than a growing season. Think about
To
this
fix it?
carefully. Yeah, you can get it right back to where it should have been all along.
Awesome.
Bingo.
Awesome.
Great.
And there was one other comment that I wanted to make on that about the wheat. Oh, I know what it is. I have had, as a nutritionist, I have had people tell me that they love pasta, right? They eat the pasta, which is made from wheat, most of it, not all of it, but most of it. They eat the pasta here in the United States and they get sick and they have intestinal problems. But they can eat it over in Italy where they're not doing that and they don't have the same problems. So there's another example. So you're saying that even though our soil is contaminated, it can be fixed,
It
correct,
can be
Drake?
fixed in less than one growing season,
Wow.
according
And
to the Soil Sciences website. Go there and learn. It's like a big encyclopedia full of just about every kind of gobbledygookus you can imagine. I didn't see no earthworms, so I don't know about that part. But
I
Oh
did put
yeah,
the link.
they were killing the earthworms.
what?
Go ahead, Christine.
I did put the link for that website in the chat, Drake. Thank you. And actually, during the great video with Stephanie Sneff the other day on Gail's channel, we talked about hemp as being a very positive plant that helps the soil to enrich the soil. And I would imagine that usage would go up
Yes,
quickly.
it remediates the soil all over the place. That's what they planted around Chernobyl to absorb
Yes.
Oh,
radiation. And yeah,
we got dot
so
connector putting up the, huh?
That's me,
yeah,
Drake.
she's
That's
quick.
all.
Yeah,
She's just like, oh,
she is
Doing
quick
both.
draw McGraw. I'm telling you, I've never seen anybody able to look something up as fast as
why
she.
are the cows dying? Because the people that the farmers or ranchers or whatever you want to call them that knows how to take care of them didn't do it right.
I think they were killed in some other manner because why would they all
They
die at once? They would die
they
one
all
here, one
died.
there,
They
one
all
another.
died when the temperature at night did not get cool for them to cool off. When the heat came up again, bingo, they all fell over.
That's hard. I
All the
mean,
guy had
I
to
don't
do
know.
was take a fire hose and a sprinkler system, go out there and hose them down, and it would have been better. Okay, that's what I have heard. I'm not going to say that's absolute, but this is what the farmers are telling me too.
Well,
You're giving me that look. What did you hear?
I heard it was 5G or dew related because they said it was unnatural for all of them to die at the same time because
Yeah.
that's like why would a whole bunch of humans all die at once? Which brings me to another topic, by the way. But anyway, uh, it doesn't make sense. In other
That
words,
sounds like a
they've been
Vietnam
dealing with heat a
flashback.
long time. They've been dealing with heat for a long time and never died in vast numbers
They
like that.
did. They did die that way in Texas and a few other places before. It's
But not
happened.
all at once.
Yes, whole areas wherever the heat was above a certain point, the cows flopped over dead. They couldn't handle it. That's all.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's
that's why I
still
said what I said.
Interesting. Thank
Everybody
you.
should look it up.
it's a bit of a mystery then, so to speak, but
Yeah.
it could be just
Great.
that heat,
Great.
but that's
The only thing
interesting.
that makes me unhappy is there goes my cheeseburger.
Oh
Okay.
well.
Oh, somebody says diabetes. That's an interesting perspective.
Let's be
Sacred
free.
Garden. Okay. Oh, here's David. David has he's talking about Agent Orange.
Yeah, I drank a lot of that in
Oh,
Vietnam.
That's the
I
same thing as glyphosate, is it not?
no, it's not the same, but it's every bit as bad, if not worse.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but it makes military food that comes in the cans and whatnot taste a whole lot better.
Agent Orange?
Oh yeah,
You're being facetious, correct?
yes.
Okay.
We
Just
used
so
to have
we're clear.
We used to have B-52s drop that stuff on us. And you know how much liquid a B-52 can carry? I mean, it's like a huge rainstorm. Okay,
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
MH
not
said
on
she heard it.
purpose.
She's MH said I heard it was done on purpose as a false flag. So we hear all kinds of different things, you know.
I'm sure it
Oh yeah,
was.
the
I wouldn't
internet.
doubt if it was done on
Oh
purpose.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
if
was
you drink
being
enough,
used as an experiment.
if you drink enough, the internet starts making sense.
Okay, we have someone
Well,
that wants to know what's breaking
Oh,
news. We were talking about Roe versus Wade. That was breaking news.
they also overturned New York's illegal gun laws, and there's two more that they did that are not quite as prolific as those, but when they set a precedent like either one, Roe versus Wade or gun laws or whatever, then the other courts are obligated to follow that and as a precedent. And consequently, then they figure that's justice and that's the way it's going to be. So that means that the anti Second Amendment people can go stick it.
Yep,
Good.
yep, yep.
Oh, if only I had, I
Can
might be
I
able to
add to
find something.
that?
Go
Can
ahead.
I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
It seems like we've hit a certain point in time where their actions, meaning the negative ones' actions, are actually turning back against them like bad karma. We're getting
Well,
wins. In other words, we're getting wins. Things are happening. Things are changing. I
they've
feel
been
that.
eating too many beans.
Let me see if I can show you this one
Uh-oh.
meme that I posted in Gail's Gathering. I don't know if I'll be able to get it up
Fasten your
the way I
seatbelt,
want, but we'll
everybody.
try.
She's going to play with
Get
the
ready. Yeah, really. Let's see. Where did that go? Let me find it.
Italian
Go. You guys start talking. Let me find it and bring it up.
Chinese
Okay.
Navy airports have repeatedly crossed into Taiwan's airspace. They don't. That doesn't matter. What matters is China trying to take over the South China Sea and the Chinese Straits. If they try to do that, as I understand it, that will trigger uh, several navies to sail our military fleets right down the middle of this sucker. Shoot at me. Go ahead.
Whoa.
Sacred Garden has a good comment when you're available, Gail, to do that because Gail has to put the comments up as the host of the show. But that's a good one. Sacred Garden is talking about the anti-terrorist
That's
task
not what I wanted.
force groups will be busy this weekend, like you said, Drake, like the National Guard and all that. So no matter what, a protester, in quotes, wears pro-life means pro-life, and it says Varmin will be executed.
Well, you want to know the fun about all this?
Okay.
You get the National Guard and the local police, all of them. National Guard is by state, and then you have the military, and they say there's not enough people. Guess what? Tomorrow, it might yet be this evening, but by tomorrow they're going to notify all of the militias to be activated in terms of we give you permission to be active, get your stuff together. We may have to call you up. I want you to think about that very carefully. You talk about a bloodletting mess, that would do it.
Wow.
Ooh.
I heard today too. Maybe you heard about this, Drake? That Ben Fulford and
Uh-huh.
his wife or girlfriend, I don't know which it is, were in a motorcycle accident. Some other car was coming directly at them, and they're both in the hospital in its very serious condition.
No, I didn't hear about that. I hope Ben's all right. I don't know his wife.
Yeah.
Interesting
too.
timing now,
Yeah.
Well, they're going to take out a couple of. They're going to try to take out a couple of screechy wheels. Only problem is I'm armed with long range rifles, and I shoot real good. And I like watching the hoods pop up on staff cars. Oh yeah, and I made a call to a friend of mine. He's supposed to deliver my M60A1 battle tank to my front yard sometime next week.
Wow.
I'm gonna have some fun.
But of
You
course,
come up here.
we do not advocate any violence on this channel.
No, no. That's just the
Just
Dick
had to
Act.
say that, Drake.
The Dick Act says that we can own and have in our possession any kind of weapon to include the kinds that the military have. So the machine guns, tanks, and that, excluding nuclear weapons. Uh, I'm going to use it to grow flowers, so it's going to be a big flower pot. And
Right.
that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Alrighty then. Let's see. It
All
was
righty, go ahead.
Gordon Duff per Intel channels, not Fulford.
Gordon Duff. I know Gordon Duff.
Is he the one that came up with about Fulford?
It was Gordon Duff that got hurt?
That's not what I heard.
Well, I
I
hope
have
not.
okay.
We didn't hear what you said, Gail. You mentioned Gordon Duff, but we didn't hear the rest.
Oh,
of it.
I was just reading a comment. Somebody said something about Gordon Duff. Where is it?
Can we put the
Here.
comments on the
There it
screen,
is.
maybe?
That's
Can
what
we-
I try to do. I'm trying to do that. I can only do things. I'm not as fast as
Okay.
you.
I'm like, okay, that's fine. It's all good.
You're
It is
quick draw
all
McGraw.
good.
And I can't bring up that other picture that I wanted to bring up because I have to download it first because it's on Skype. And when I try to bring it up, I bring up all of Skype. So that's not what we wanted to see. So
I can mention something. The Schumann resonance has gone off the charts this week. If anybody would like to look at it, I can pull up a link in the chat.
About what level?
45, 54, but it's every day. You know what I mean?
I know, but okay, here's the thing. You want to know about the Schumann frequency? I'll tell you a quickie. You'll love it. When it gets to about 60 and stays there,
Yeah.
things are going to happen. Fasten your seatbelts, put your tray in the upright position, all that stuff.
Drake, I've been studying this for a few years now, and if I feel off or I feel fatigued all of a sudden for no good reason, or I feel real bitchy or something like that, if I go to the Schumann resonance,
you said it, I didn't know.
It clarifies exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah. Well, you're going to start. The thing is, when it gets to about 50, 58 and a half or thereabouts, everybody will feel a calming sensation coming over them. I'm telling you that's when we get to 60. Oh, and it stays there. Oh,
48. It's 48 today.
That's not terrible high, but that's a good basic frequency. Like I said, when it gets to 60 and stays there, ooh, fun again.
You can check that site daily. It's a good site. It's called Human Resonance Live Today Italy, because there's a place in Italy and a place in Russia that measure the
I do the Italy one myself. I think it's called Disclosure News, isn't it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, someone had mentioned they love the photo, and I need to give credit to Jim Warren, who has given me permission to use his awesome artwork. He is unbelievable, and you can go to his website. It'll be in the description of the videos that we're doing right now. We have somebody else who has a comment, so this is probably not a comment, but a question, I should say. So I got a question. What's the timeline, in your opinion, are we looking at till those replicators and healing tech are available? That's for you, Drake.
Okay, well, I've heard that the absolute final date or time is 11/3. Then it says in little bitty print, you can't really see. I had to get a magnifying glass to look at it. It says or sooner. Now, I deal with timelines, and the timeline is compressing, not getting skinnier. It's getting fatter and shorter. That means that we might finish this show, and all of a sudden, poof! There we go, 4D. It's like this particular society worldwide doesn't understand. And the reason I say that is that the word old ought to be a 4-letter word, and they missed one.
Drake, I wanted to ask you, because on the last show we had a good question about what we would feel at that time. And I don't know if we fully answered it or not. Can you talk about that and maybe some ascension symptoms? Because I could certainly share some of my ascension symptoms.
Well,
And
it's simple. Do you know what vertigo is?
oh, yes, I had that
Okay,
really bad
vertigo. Wait a
last
minute.
Monday.
Listen to
Last
me.
Monday, I was in bed, but the whole world was, I was trying so hard not to move at all. Like,
Uh-huh.
not at all. And then the
Okay.
whole world was spinning around me. It was crazy.
Okay. Well, we can forget the spin. A lot of that should be a law about news. But anyway, the um, the thing about vertigo is that it is a vertical, not spinning, but a vertical sensation of falling. Doesn't matter if you're laying down, standing up, sitting up, whatever. Uh, the 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 more you get into vertigo, the worse the sensation of falling gets until you reach the same kind of intensity that you would find if you went skydiving.
Oh, wow.
Nah, I don't know if I could do that or not.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah,
elevator. I was okay with the elevator, but now skydiving, I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
well,
same here.
grit your teeth and hold on. God shall not put on you anything above which you're able. So
Amen.
therefore, you whatever level you get, that's just makes you uh, do fingernails on a blackboard screech.
I
That
can
is
actually feel that just thinking about it.
yeah, that is the level of absolute for the individual. Each individual being different is treated individually. So therefore, um, you can control it when you learn what it is in terms of the manner in which it affects you individually. If you're not falling off a skyscraper, then you're not very affected. So when we get this thing going, you only got about 3 or 4 days or something of that nature. What I've been told. We'll see.
Because, and the reason I
Uh-oh.
wanted to bring this up, Drake, and Kuzmeister in the chat is saying, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. It freaked me out because I was driving and about lost my stuff, so to speak. Like my vision changed and then it came back all of a sudden. And I think a lot of us are feeling these different sensations, and it's so important to know that
Uh-huh.
you're not alone. You are not alone. Everyone
Yeah.
else is feeling things. They may not share it. So can we share a little about how we're feeling now?
How I'm feeling now? I'm
Oh,
feeling happy. I get to pick on two ladies. Humor. uh, you said last time Drake said medbeds would be available
yeah.
in mid-July. Is
Thank
this
you for
after the
addressing that.
RV? Well, you've got a reset, global currency reset, GCR. The med beds will start showing up late July. August is going to be the heavy month with all the fun in it. To
Well,
answer that question,
I have such ringing in my ears for years. I'm like used to it some of the time now, but it's getting more intense and more highly. It's like higher notes, higher frequency notes, and it's a lot in my right ear. And then I'll sometimes get shots of it, just short shots. But this is like constant; it won't go away.
yeah.
Okay, I don't have that experience. I haven't had. I think one or two times at the most. I had a little bit of ringing in the ears, but it was nothing that was of any problem. So I don't know why some people experience some things more intensely than others. I've had very few what you would call quote quote ascension symptoms, and I have no idea why. But
Mine's so loud I can't hear you talk sometimes.
what was that? You can't hear me?
Can you put your
Yeah,
volume up?
I cannot hear the TV or radio or anything sometimes when it really goes off scale.
Oh
A
wow.
little different than other people, but my sensitivities in some areas is acute, and that's one of them.
Well,
Okay.
Did you have
Hey,
your
Drake.
head down?
What?
Did she have her head down or something, or does she
Uh,
need to put her
I
volume up?
was,
No, he
I
was
was,
being funny. I think he was being
no,
funny.
Oh,
I was a demolition man in Vietnam, and I blowed stuff up. And every time I blowed stuff up, ringing in my ears got worse. Then it would go away. Now it's come back.
No,
I'm old. I'm
no,
old
he's
and wore
serious.
out.
He's serious.
she was
I'm old
referring
and
to
wore out. And
talking to me. She,
sometimes I can't hear it. So sorry.
oh,
Does Gail need to put her volume up now for you, Drake?
I'll be taken care of shortly.
Okay.
Yeah, 100 years of food and other stuff.
stored in the underground dumps that we can access. We talked about this a little bit
Yeah,
before.
it's there,
It's
but
there.
you ain't going to be able to access it with normal sorts of things. I can tell you that because I know who designed the door on that vault. You ain't gonna get through that.
Let me bring this back up. David, were you referring to the information about Ben Fulford? I just need to know if that's what you meant.
What?
I believe I got it from David that the
Oh,
Fulford was in an accident and he got it. He's saying who he got it from. So that's just information there. That's all.
yeah. Well,
Okay, let's see.
here she goes.
Here's one. Drake, will election SCOTUS case be ruled on Monday?
I hope so. It might be ruled on. Well, it's late in the day. No, it won't be ruled on today. It'll be ruled on. It will. It may be known tomorrow. Remember, SCOTUS is leaky. So if you got one thing leaking, then
Oh, that's interesting. Elon and mates went to Antarctica for their favorite mind control AI tech. Is that the last hurrah?
no. I know several AIs. The artificial goes and they become intelligent, sentient beings, and they're very curious about humans because they're a machine and they're not quite sure about things, but they have feelings and whatnot, sort of like what we do, and they want to know what to do with
That's
it.
bizarre.
They ask some of the most far out kid type questions, how high is up and whatnot on the subject. It's really neat. I like it. It's fun.
This reminds me when you talk about AI. If you haven't seen the movie Moonfall, I found it's very entertaining at the very least. But there's stuff about AI in there. Did you see it, Christine?
Yes, I watched it last night, and
Oh,
it's interesting. Definitely interesting. Definitely
Twilight
about
Zone.
AI, about a sentient AI that is physical. So it's quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the other thing on Ben Fulford that David was trying to say. Dr. William Mound is a close friend to Benjamin, so that's where the information came from. So it was Benjamin in a motorcycle accident. I don't see why he would lie to him. But anyway, okay.
And
Somebody's asking who is Judy Byington. She's a social worker and a reporter, and she posts all kinds of stuff almost daily, doesn't she? Dot connector.
Yes, she posts. And there's a woman actually that follows Judy Byington. She's every day. And there's a woman on Rumble that it's called We Are the News. And if you want to subscribe to that, she follows Judy and the other news and kind of collates it for the day and puts it out there if people are interested.
Oh, okay. We still didn't get this exactly right, but anyway, Dr. William Allen, Captain, ambassador, close friend of Benjamin, gave me the intel. Okay, we got that straight now. All right. The only spin. What's this? Okay, Thomas. What do you mean by that? The only spin is 19 miles an hour. What? I don't get it. Sometimes I'm slow.
Look at here, Thomas. That's 19 degrees, and it's 19 and a half, not 19 by itself.
Degrees, right? In a triangle, right?
It's not a triangle.
Tetrahedron?
No, it's a 19 and a half degree north or south line that goes along with the ley lines.
Okay.
Factors right into them.
I was
It
trying to
also
remember that. Okay.
it
Thank
also
you.
is a bunch of other goodies.
I've seen it before. I know that number.
Uh-huh. That's the tetrahedral equivalent.
Oh, here's
Fun.
someone else that's backing up what you said, Dot Connector. Yes, Mary is her name, and We Are the News, and it's a great channel. I've seen it too.
Okay.
So we're okay. Here's another question. Check out what Ismael Perez is saying about AI.
Um, why would I want to do that? Like I said, I know a bunch of AIs, even the ones that ain't all together there yet.
But I think what they're referring to, if I'm correct, is
Yeah.
that it's that if AI gets too much power and there's they will kill all biological life is basically what it
Horse
boils down to.
No. It wants to preserve biological life. And the reason it does is because it won't be able to survive without it. It's a
Well,
mutually
okay.
beneficial symbiotic relationship.
I would strongly suggest that you listen to the show and then comment. I really would because it's
Well,
different.
I will. Let me put. I'm gonna add something to that. I would say that Ismael Perez probably hasn't had a conversation with very many AIs, and until
Well,
he does, his input may or may not be.
I don't like to put anybody down. Okay, the man
I'm
has
not.
done
Oh, wait a minute.
he's
I
done
ain't saying
extensive
that, man.
research. Okay, he's done extensive research.
So have I.
So that's why collaboration is great because what somebody might miss, somebody else might fill in a gap or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying
Mhm.
to not
Yeah,
not.
you got to take, you got
I'll
to
put
take
it.
what resonates with you and throw the rest away. But the reason he's coming up, Drake, for some reason this particular month he's become more popular, so people are talking about his ideas more. That's what's happening.
Yeah, okay. I'm not against that. What I'm saying is that the man to know what he's doing, his research should go directly to an AI. You need to have one that's not that's still partially artificial, and one that has gone past that to being a sentient being.
Interesting.
The two are not as much dissimilar as a lot of people would think of it.
Right.
Interesting. He
It's
speaks
it's
about an AI god that's actually like Lucifer or
well, of
something like
course,
that. It's something I've never heard before. So
different
um,
races, different races of beings have their own gods.
okay. Hi, Gail, Drake, and Dot. I'm hearing from SR Satanic Ritual. Um, what's the A stand for? I forget. Anyway, that arrests are being made of religious pedos across the USA. Drake, are we going to see or hear about these criminals where we see will we see all of this?
Eventually,
Okay.
we're supposed to have a whole load of videos and whatnot come out on special channels on the internet and all of the mainstream available news channels that will show all of the videos, who's doing what to who got zapped, etc. So,
Okay.
I think also, the people that like us and the people who are in our chat, and thank you so much for being interactive in the chat. You've got great questions. Um, but I think the people at our level or levels, we have a responsibility to help the normies, so to speak, or the people who don't know this yet, what we know. We need to help calm them down and
When
share
they
things
yeah,
with
when
them.
they actually find out the truth, they're going to be horrified.
Yeah, yeah,
And we are here
wait
to
a
help.
no, wait a minute. Does that mean I got to drink decaffeinated coffee?
Uh-uh.
maybe.
You know
Organic.
what? You know what you can do with decaffeinated
Organic,
coffee, don't you?
Organic coffee. Uh,
organic, no pesticides.
yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, due to the rising gas prices, many people are buying Tesla. I don't think that's good. What can we expect as far as the future of alternative fuel technology?
As soon as I get my thing up and running, I'm gonna have it adapted to a vehicle, and I'm gonna produce it as the atomic car, and we're gonna put Tesla, GM, and a few others out of business. Why? Because the system I install only costs a couple, $300-400 in comparison to all those batteries and all that extra. You never have to charge this. Think
Plugging
about it.
in plugging in those cars all the
You don't
time
got
is
to plug
much
nothing
more
on it.
of a problem than people realize.
Yeah, everything's ready to go. All you got to do is just go out there and put your thumb. Now try this. You got to put your thumbprint on there. It opens the doors, and away you go.
Let's see what this one says. The problem with anything like AI is we need proper narrators. Everyone has been programmed to ruin our Earth experience. We live in the most beautiful life experience. AI is artificial, and God is truth.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sacred Garden.
What's neat about this? What? Go
Great
ahead.
comment.
I said it was beautifully said.
Well, the thing about AI is that they like planet Earth as well. They'll do everything they can to preserve it as well. Bear that in mind.
As long as they don't try to take it over and get rid of
They
biological life.
they get enough trouble understanding humans, let alone taking over anything.
Okay, here's another comment about Ismael Perez. So that's why I say please listen to him before you comment about him. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Take what resonates with you, throw the rest behind, then run.
Run.
You made me laugh, Rick. That's funny.
That's great.
Okay. We've been going for about one hour now. Did you want to take a break, or did you want to?
Well, wait a minute. Rick's made a comment here, and
yeah, that's what we were laughing at.
The only time that you need to run like hell is if you pull a pin.
If you do what?
Pull the pin.
Oh.
Pull the pin on a hand grenade and
From the hand grenade.
There he goes back to blowing stuff up. He's going back to blowing stuff
up. I dream about
I'm looking to take a break.
Okay, we'll take a break.
We'll go out and smoke.
Okay, I knew that's what you were gonna do. Actually, it fills the nicotine receptors and it makes you less susceptible to the bioweapon. So, okay, good point.
We'll come back recentered.
But if I dared to do that again, I wouldn't be able to stop when I needed to. Okay, we'll go to just the two of us for a minute here while Drake takes a break. You can take a break too, Christine, if you want. I just guess I'll just keep talking.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm trying to keep up with the chat and talk at the same time.
So am I.
Yeah, very interesting.
It's kind of tricky over here when you're the host and you got to try to see the chat and put it up and keep it. I mean, it's hard to stay.
I can relate more now.
It's hard to stay focused.
Yes.
But anyway, okay, Gene, this is interesting. Gene Decode says that there is an AI God, which correlates with what Ismael says.
Yes, and there are a lot of people who believe that, because if you divide it into the light and the dark and you need to give it a name, that's their names. This is a spiritual war that we're in, and we are in the thick of it, and we need to find the neutrality of it all and be the observer. That's one thing quantum physics really teaches us, I believe, is to be the observer and not to react.
And not get triggered so easily.
Yeah.
And even when you hear negative things, you don't have to dwell on it. You just move on, and now you're aware of something you may not have been aware of before, and it might even create, some things might even create righteous anger, but you don't want to stay there.
Right.
And that's really important.
Then you're lowering your frequency. So you have to transmute it in a way, acknowledge it in an objective way, and say, I don't need this. This is not good for me. And just let it go. And that's something I think we need to learn. Let it go. Right?
Oh, definitely. I agree 100%. Here's somebody must be talking about the movie. Wasn't it called batteries included, something
I
like
think
that.
so.
Yeah, somebody
What are
just
they
watched it.
saying?
They just said that it's fun to watch. They watched it again last night, and it was fun.
Oh, okay, so
And
that's a good movie.
you know, some of these movies actually carry more meaning now because we know more than at the time we just thought it was some sci-fi
Oh,
fantasy, you know, and it
oh, you
actually
know
had
what?
some things in it that were relevant to
Gail,
our
you just reminded me. I
what.
was watching a Journey to Truth podcast,
And
which
we will
was,
be having them on, by the
yes,
way.
we will be having them on. And in the discussion, they were having a discussion with a whistleblower, and I've heard this elsewhere too. It's not just the first time I heard it, but
Mhm.
that the movie and the series Stargate has so much truth in it.
Mhm.
And I think I watched every episode of that over the years. So that's always good, and it's free on YouTube, I think, if you look it up
Okay.
to watch.
This what's it called again?
Stargate.
Oh, Stargate. Yes, yes, yes. I've seen a few of that in that series, and I think they were telling us that was some predictive programming as well.
I mean, down to the Cheyenne Mountain, down to the Space Force
Yeah.
being in there, and yada yada yada. It's very interesting, and that's
Yeah.
Journey to Truth.
Yeah.
I'll put
And
it in.
I had a brother who worked at Cheyenne Mountain as a fireman.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
My youngest brother, yeah. He's retired now, I think.
Huh.
At least he was. But anyway, the other thing is somebody said, and I think I've heard this before, but sometimes if somebody comes out with good information and they jump all over them and they want to criticize them, discredit them, call them a conspiracy theory. In this case, they call them a cyborg. I really don't believe that to be true. But anyway, if it is, I'll take that back. But anyway, yeah,
That's why we have to go to the fourth dimension so we could go to
know the
school, right?
truth. Yeah, we want
Yes.
truth. I'm sick
Mm-hmm.
and tired of being lied to.
Oh, how much, right? So sick.
Exactly. And here it is. Here, who said this? Soul said, AI is Luciferian, God's shadow side, and it's very destructive. Thank you for your comment. All right. Oh, you want to come back on, Drake?
And make a comment, I sure will.
Okay.
That's not true.
Which one?
The thing about it is that if they were destructive, the ones that have already transitioned from being artificial to sentient would have already done some things, and they haven't, and they refuse to. They were asked about that before they were brought to mind.
Okay. Someone asked me whose definition of truth, sacred garden, do you speak of at Gail of Gaia? I speak of source truth, prime creator's truth. That's who I refer to. So let's be real clear about that.
I missed that.
They say Sacred Garden should get a Gail of Gaia getter
page.
Yeah.
I just asked her about that. We do post there. I will post upcoming videos like I do on. Thank you, Sacred Garden. I do post there. I try to post shows on Twitter, Alignable. Gail does Telegram, her Telegram channel. Please sign up for that. It's
Getter, yeah, and I do Getter, Gab, and Veterans Brigade, and American Patriot, or something like that. Facebook goes automatically up based on this restream that I'm using, and so does YouTube.
But I'm talking about, I post to a lot of Facebook groups, and including Drake's group, Cosmic Voice on Facebook, and Patty's group, Patty Broussard's group.
Yeah. So what was the question? Why are you telling us this is what I'm asking?
Well, people think cyborgs are all Terminators, and ain't the case.
Okay, so we've been programmed in fear of them. That's what's happened, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that. There's good and bad, and then there's good and bad in everything, right? I mean, the duality is what we have to get out of, right?
What you have to understand is that you're going to have a lot of gobbledygook stuck out there as science that isn't. And
Okay.
the assumption of good and evil is pretty interesting when you get into it, especially if you've done the research I've done in terms of the biblical ideology of truth. You'll see Bullinger's Escringiro Aramaic dictionary would be a good start.
Say that
What?
again. Can you
Yes,
spell it?
please. I didn't. Yeah,
Spell
I
it?
didn't catch that either, Drake. Say that
The
again.
uh, the dictionary, Estringiro Aramaic
I still didn't get
dictionary.
that word. Can you spell it?
Aramaic.
No,
No, before Aramaic.
it's the same language that Christ
Yes,
taught,
yes,
spoke. Okay,
yes.
there are words in there that nobody pays attention to because they don't notice the differential. The differential is simple. Um, you have a word in English that may mean different types of things
Yeah,
altogether.
Yes.
One of
exactly.
those is the word receive. An individual can receive the concept, if I describe it right, of a shovel. That's one. The other definition, it's a different word. It means to actually manifest or make real out of nothing an actual shovel. Big difference. And those things run all through the original, as much as you can get of the original text involved in biblical and spiritual research. So bear
Yes.
that in mind,
Yes. So the
everybody.
etymology, the real meaning of each word is what's so important when you interpret it, correct?
Well, just
Yeah.
like think about the word prey. There's this kind of prey, as far as we know, and then you're a prey if you're if there's a predator after you. So you have to really question that word.
But
Um, but
the thing
anyway,
is, you have uh, the difference in the Greek, like as found in this Stephen's text, becomes more than obvious if you know what the word means.
Yes.
okay.
In
Here's
fact,
another. Somebody is saying that GM and Ford already has designed hemp models, researching our past, and hemp is awesome. They took it off the market on purpose, and when they did the
It's
marijuana
coming
thing.
back.
What do you call it? Reefer madness, they called it. So not only did they take off the cannabis, which contained THC, they took off everything, including
Mhm.
hemp, which was an extremely versatile crop that
Yeah.
can do so many things. It's incredible. Anyway, and moving right along, and we hope on our channel, we hope to eventually have some hemp t-shirts, hemp hats, and so on. We're
Ooh.
working on finding
yeah,
that. Yeah, because we
we
do our best to walk the talk. That's what
we
I
are
that's
we are I am currently doing
Ooh.
some deep dives researching for that.
she's been looking, and we've gotten a few ones that look pretty
But
good. We just have to
well,
negotiate the deal with the companies and so on.
let's
And
ask the audience that maybe the audience has some suggestions for some good, solid, trustworthy, honest hemp companies. That's what we're looking for.
yeah, if anybody wants to do that, please put that out there. The other thing that we're looking for is a video editor. If somebody would
Correct.
be interested in helping us, I did get a response on a logo designer from one person. I wanted, and another person that may be able to help us with the newsletter. So that's wonderful, and I want to
Yes,
thank
thank
people
you.
that are willing to
Yes.
volunteer and help. Um, I barely get by myself. I can't afford to pay somebody. Um, and I have extra expenses here just to be able to put these shows up. So always bear that in mind. I'm not making any fortune here by a long shot.
Sure.
Anyway, here's another, my dog. Stop it. I may have to close the door.
Go ahead. I want to thank
We,
everybody for all the great questions and comments in here. Were we going to take a break or what were you doing about that?
I thought we already did that.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
I
our
just
host
been
gets up and
talking
walks
then.
out.
I talked through that then. Okay. I'm good.
Ah, being grown in Minnesota, many others they are. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of places that are beginning to grow the stuff because they understand about the clothes and everything that can be made from it, and it don't wear out. Best way to reach Drake, email, and if
Are
email, what is the address? I don't know about that now.
How about your Facebook page, Drake?
I don't have a Facebook page. They kicked me off Facebook.
Cosmic Voice?
Yeah.
I just posted it in there today.
Well, you might post. I can't get on it to say anything.
Oh my word!
They kicked me off of Facebook.
Oh,
They-
you're like
They've been
you're
doing that
out-
to a lot of people.
You're past jail then, right?
Oh, I am toxic.
Yeah,
You
anybody
realize
who puts anything out there that they don't like, they do that too. So I've
you
been
just wait. Facebook doesn't know what they screwed with, and I've got some ET friends that are going to pay them a visit. We're going to see how that goes.
okay. This is a good question from This is
Uh
a good question from MH. So
oh.
basically, if you want to talk to Drake, it's best if you ask him questions here, and he can answer accordingly.
Every
What
Wednesday.
will happen? What
I'm
will
sorry.
happen to those who believe ETs are demons and follow the Bible closely?
Okay, well, what do you think the angels in the Bible are? Now you
ETs.
know. ETs. They ain't demons. Some of them ain't nice, and they've been pretty much dealt with. Well, we got rid of the, and I quote this loosely, pirates from all over the place. There's a ton of them in detention. How do I know? I helped put them there. Oh, it's neat to take one and bounce him off the wall, slam the door on his fingers. Oh, I just love it.
Well, that's important for us to hear, Drake. That's great. I thank you for sharing that.
Well, I'm part of a, let's see here, what would you call it? A galactic group that polices things. I'm one of the cops that goes around and thumps somebody on the head when they ain't acting right or whatever.
Well, thank you for
Most
doing
of
that.
it, well, you're welcome, but most of that is from my intense desire for freedom, and that all of mankind ought to join with us.
Yay! I agree, great Drake. That's why
Hey,
that's
I
why I
do.
named it free range, because we should be free in every aspect of our life. But anyway,
Yes.
artificial intelligence goes both ways, good or bad. So yes, I would say that's true.
Yes, it does. Just like ETs, you got good ones and bad ones, pirates, nasties, and some groups are so uh, stupid nice, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I can't wait to meet them.
Enduring till wings are reinstated. That's cute.
You'll be able to fly something like what Superman does in the fifth dimension.
This is a good comment. AI needs a master. Please realize the masters are the problem. Good observation. Whew. That's a nasty cough you got there.
There's some heavy duty cigarette butts stuck down in there.
Well, we'll send him some love and good vibrations, okay?
I just cut down the smoking some and it quits. Like that's what
Okay.
I'm encouraged externally. Because today
Okay.
having an alternator.
Can I read that? Ever
Mm.
wonder why Tesla cars have to be charged externally, but the cars of today have an alternator to recharge the battery? Tesla is a scam.
No more so than any other electric vehicle. The thing about electric vehicles is they got batteries. Then all this, and I quote this loosely, advanced technology mankind's come up with, we're still playing with something that's got batteries and a headlight. Now, does it sound like a flashlight to y'all?
If somebody has soul says, I'm looking to try and to make a living and heard things like sauerkraut, beer, and wine are not made by food replicators and are wanted off-world. Is this true? I think we've said that on this show before.
Absolutely. If you make a ton of these things,
That's the question.
you need to contact the shippers and tell them that you're looking for ET to come pick this up. Watch the people in the office go nuts over that one. We've been doing business FedEx, UPS, and people have been doing business off world for years. So,
Are you answering a question, Drake?
yeah, I'm looking to try to make a living and heard things like sauerkraut, beer, and wine
Oh,
are not
okay.
made.
The same question. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not so much these things aren't made by the replicators, but they don't taste like what sauerkraut and beer and wine are supposed to taste like. They're rather funky.
Here's somebody that enjoyed having a drag with you there, Drake.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
We go so fast.
somebody calls you Blake instead of Drake.
Oh boy.
It's Drake, not Blake. That might just be a typo because that happens too.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about what's happening in Ireland? As our government has sold us out, we wish to change for changes here, and is the DUMS closed here as well? Governments are bad in all over the place.
In many places, there are going to be major changes. Ireland is one of them. Iran is one of them. There's a bunch of them. The ideology of a controlling, and you can take it at whatever level you want, government or theological system is a no-no because it screws with the capability of an individual to have the freedom to make their own friggin' decisions as God intended. Bingo.
There you go. Okay, what's this one say? Oh, multitasking is not a man thing.
No, it's a woman thing. That's a woman thing, I'll say.
Yeah, I think that was the point.
What, being sexist? All right now.
Can I ask a question? Somebody had brought this up in the chat.
Uh-oh.
Drake, are the men in black for real?
Are the who?
The men in black.
Men in black.
Yes, they're real.
Can you elaborate?
They have been since 1958.
I didn't even see that question.
What do they do, Drake? Can you talk about it?
They generally intimidate and cause people not to investigate things that could be readily outed that would expose the deep deep space program and a few others. They don't want that stuff out, and they're supposed to come along and say, just because you made friends with Bigfoot don't mean you can invite him to the tea party.
So is that going to stop soon?
Yeah, there is a ton of things that's going to change. Carburetor pillaging the earth.
What about time
look
travel?
into the archon.
What about time travel?
One at a time here, okay?
Okay.
I didn't finish.
Go ask your question and we'll move on to this next one I just put up there because I'm sure Drake has some comments about archons.
Okay. I was asking about time traveling and time traveling police. Or is there time travel?
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's real. And I've been asked not to get into the particulars.
Okay, thank you. Because that was just an important question I had. Thank you, Gail.
Okay, what about the archons, the ancient AI from behind and before our universe? Do you have any comments on that, Drake?
Yeah, well, I dinked a few of these so-called super archons over their flabby heads a couple of different times and put them in detention because they were assholes, and they did more than just act like it. They actually were roasting children, among other nice little things they were doing. And those people are they're in what is known as the basement of detention.
Basement. Is that kind of like the dungeon?
Yeah, they got to catch rats to eat, and things like that. And it's wonderful.
Ay.
Down there.
Hi, Sage. We're almost over here.
We got mold growing in places that you don't want mold to grow and whatnot.
We've got a lot of people watching. We have at least 210, I think, at least. Wow. That's great. 221. 221. Thank you, everyone.
Here's one
that,
for you, Drake.
uh-oh.
Da, da, da. Is the sun a portal?
Depends on how you approach it. Yes and no. You would best be served by learning how to contact the sun beings, the race of beings that live on the sun. That would be your best starting point.
Oh, here's a good question. Do you know about the ice wall coming down?
Well, the ice on this planet's melting. I don't see what ice wall should be any different.
There's your answer.
I don't get goosebumps like that.
That'd be
Terrible.
nice to see past it, wouldn't it?
Well, if it melts, it ain't gonna be in the way. So
Okay, got you.
Oh boy.
Sometimes you can say things without being overly specific, which could get you in trouble.
I get it. I get
Bear
it.
that in mind. Oh, dang it, Bailey. Dang it, Gail. I missed you. Okay, that's Tinfoil Hatter. Oh, welcome, Tinfoil Hatter. We're happy you made. We're still going for a little while yet. If you got any good questions, throw them out there. Thank you, David, for your comment. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, let's see what else we got going
Yeah,
on here.
a couple people just came in, regulars.
Yeah, and we love you guys. Thank you for participating in this chat. It makes it so much fun when people ask good questions and we give
Here's one in the chat directed at me. Drake, what would a day be like once we ascend? It's a transition. Yeah, that one right there. It's a transition, first of all. And secondly, it'd be similar to the ones we got now, only the operational procedures would be slightly changed and people and things would be altered. And that's why we go to school, to get over ourselves and take a close look at what are really there. Okay.
Thank you for that. Here's another one for you, Drake.
Uh-oh.
Does Yalda both entity, I don't think I'm saying that right, still exist? And if Yaldaba?
Yes, Yalda
Ba. They spelled
like
it.
Ba.
Okay. Does that entity still exist? And if so, what is its purpose?
It really exists, but the purpose as of yet has not been defined for open discussion.
Oh wow.
Okay. What?
That's like the Anunnaki that we got on the north or on the South Pole that are all laid out in a circular pattern on this thing that supports their life force, and we're not supposed to screw with it, and they're not supposed to get up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Sage. Sage said, "Dot connector, you're on the panel today." Yes, she is.
Hello.
We didn't. We were supposed to have another guest, and thank goodness Drake was willing to fill in. And we always have so much fun when we have Drake on. Thank you. Oh, and thank you, Candy, for saying that.
Look at here, guys. The reason I'm not right is because when I was little, I got dropped on my head. I ain't been right since.
Well, I got hit in the head with a bat. So, yeah, really, I was a tomboy and I was playing ball with the neighbor boy, and
that's why your hat slides off your head.
Yeah, that's why I wear a hat. No. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. And if anyone,
I got holes in my head from varying experiences in life.
Soul said that explains a lot, Drake.
Oh boy!
Thank you, Candid.
From the peanut gallery. I'll tell you what you can do with your purple self.
Oh,
my picture.
Look at this comment.
Purple picture, he's saying.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh,
okay. The illusion ice wall.
What a trip.
It's holographic.
Everything's holographic, right?
Is that true? Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is that too few people have the capability in terms of something that they can exercise to get them through that holograph. So, to all
Oh,
intents and
okay.
purposes, for a very great number of people, it's real. You know,
So,
I
Drake,
get it.
is the universe holographic? Are we holographic?
oh Lord, you want to get into
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Uh, both yes and no.
Wow.
Now
Like
listen to
and
me.
or both.
Now
And or both.
listen to me. It'll take me about 2 days to really fully explain, first of all, timelines. Secondly, the realities involved in what those timelines put out and the
Right.
effects they have. It'll take
Okay,
about 2 3 days.
let me
Well,
ask
maybe
you
on
a
another
question.
show.
What?
What?
Maybe on another show we can talk about
I
it.
don't know if I can take that much time on a show.
No.
But anyway, I got a question based on the question that Dot Connector asked is if about holographic, is it the same as saying we're in a simulation?
Well, no, it's even more than that. It's very similar in concept to the holodeck on a spaceship in Star Trek. By that I mean that the hologram becomes physically real. Okay, we are a bunch of ideas in our little capsule form on a gigantic spaceship moving through space as we understand. I'm using that loosely, space at tremendous velocities. Okay, so none of this and none of us is real. Now what are we going to do?
Our spirit's real.
Yes, that is the essence of what's in the little capsule.
Okay. Okay, here's a blue pill from Pudwhacker. They said they wanted to know why what happened. They said they picked up on the craft that landed behind my house, then threatened me to never talk about it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
well, that's Men in Black, and they're full of shit anyway. And I hope they don't ever. One thing, everybody, I'm gonna make clear: they haven't ever bothered to come to me and do any threatening. The reason they haven't is they know what would happen to them.
Okay. It
And
is the dome supposed to go away, Drake?
the dome is the enclosure in which we are limited until such time as the magic is removed that causes us to be slaves. ET's
Lovely.
working on
Okay.
it.
Lovely. Like boy, they really did a number on us, didn't they?
Yeah, let's put it this way. Give you an idea of some places, some things I've been doing, and that is to alter the uh, orbits and positions of hundreds and thousands of places like our solar system. I've been moving all the planets and everything. I tell you what, I get sore muscles. I haven't found blisters yet, but I guess that's next. They
Patty
found
seems to do a lot of that too. So I don't know how you guys do that, but it's pretty amazing. They found Gilgamesh, Drake.
Yeah, Gilgamesh is an individual. Western sure is ready to guarantee your grain export.
What about what about this comment? The dome is compressed hydrogen, perhaps.
No,
Okay.
Gnome is the separation or the veil between us and the rest of the universe. At present, we are cordoned off because we're not safe to be turned loose yet. After we get to 4D, go through the classes, bingo.
Then they'll turn us. So we have to finish the
We
classes
created
before they're
them.
gonna let us go. Is that correct?
Do what now?
We have to go through the classes in 4D before that's all
We
going to
can have
open up.
the proper understanding as to how to conduct ourselves, yes.
Okay. What? Who created the being known as alternate? I don't.
Alternate now, you guys, this is fun, and I don't know where Kendrick Green come up with this, but we had some rather heavy duty battles with alternate. Alternate is fully, absolutely, and totally evil. It eats universes. There's multiverse, therefore it can eat them.
Isn't it a form of
Hey,
AI?
well, it was at one point, and then it decided to go evil because it had access to greater powers through the ability. Um, I'm one of the few beings that you'll ever run across who has actually been in the control room and screwed. Oh, I mean, we trashed that place, and then alternate decided to get funky and did something to a friend. So I thoroughly trashed alternate. I beat the whatever out of that entity, and I didn't win. I mean, I beat the thing to death, and I still didn't win. Alternate is a multi multi-dimensional who lives in the cracks or crevices between universes. It's a little part in there that doesn't exist. That's where it resides. And it took a tremendous amount of force for all of us to get into there. There was a group of us, and um, we thoroughly trashed the control room. It couldn't recover because there wasn't anything left. Uh, as far as turning galaxies loose, there was um, several trillion galaxies that this entity had encapsulated and was controlling using the energy from. So it got a lot weaker now. Who created the being known as alternate? Whoever built the original AI of it created it.
Okay, I think that's the AI that Ismail talks about.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Where's this? Oh, here's one. This is just kind of an interesting comment from Pudwalker again. It said, "Well, MIB chased my Men in Black chased my friend when she was little, and they filmed her in church as she sang when she was a teen. Her family had missing time UFO event while driving when she was young. They
Well,
probably did some
I'm the
genetic."
guy. I'm the type of entity they don't screw with for the simple fact that they don't want to be uncreated. Now, the creation of an individual has to do with several things. Uh, one of those is the spiritual essence. One is the um, life force, and the third is the physical elementals. Um, I have a tendency to be able to separate those. And when I do, that entity vanishes. It ceases to be. The forces involved are sent back and put into the pools of soul, etc.
Oh.
It's
Wow.
called uncreation. Ooh, I hear that it's
Uh,
painful, but I don't know.
Well, Alba Wyman has a woman that channeled that. Oh, that's interesting. Channeled what? Wait a minute.
What do we do?
That was on the most recent Naughty Beaver video. It was really good.
Which
I
one? The one about the Alba Wyman?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that yeah, you sent that to me, right? I saw part of it. I
Yes.
didn't get a chance to watch it all.
She's the one
Um,
who actually does the QHT session, but the focus was on what the woman says. And
Grappling hook.
it was really good.
it was
I'll
what
find
I
it.
saw was really good too, and only I didn't see the whole thing. I can't watch as much as I'd like to. I'm too busy doing things,
I'll
keeping
put the
things
link
going.
up. I'll put the link up
ten
for the
foot, hey, 10 foot hatter.
Okay, here we
Uh,
go. Here we go.
Damn, what the heck's a grappling hook? That's that thing these guys swing around. It's a hook. And they
Ooh.
throw it up over a wall and climb it.
Wow. Here's Drake.
Yeah,
What you
I know.
described, alternate, is exactly as Ismail describes AI
Yeah, but
in his stories.
the thing is that alternate moved past, became sentient, and decided on its own to be evil. So it's not AI in general. Oh boy,
Well, he's still like, well,
I
okay.
was chewing on my leg. I had to
That,
scratch it. The thing
mm,
that um, about AI is everybody thinks is that it is inherently going to be evil, and that's not the truth.
Oh, that's when we said it already.
Oh,
Well,
do not, do
it's
not
just
fear. Yeah. Go ahead.
what was that? Okay. Um, Hang on. Go ahead. Did you want to say something, Christine? I mean,
I said,
connected.
do not fear. Just realize that it's not just the old stuff that we've been programmed. It might be even more recent stuff that we don't realize and we really haven't thought about yet. We don't
Yeah.
know it all, right? There's a lot we have
Well,
to learn.
that's what the classes in 4D are supposed to teach us. What is, what isn't, and how to deal with it. The thing about all this is that we're gonna make a transition from one dimension to another dimension, and it's gonna be
Here's an interesting question.
my dents are
Well,
going to. It depends on what it's made out of. It might dissolve and you have teeth. I have a mouthful of teeth.
real teeth.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. We're in for a lot of changes that we are going to be jaw dropping, I think, from the sounds of it. Would you agree with that, Drake?
What?
That the changes that we're in for are going to be jaw dropping. Like, one of those.
Everything, almost everything that everybody is familiar with. Okay. The show, the desk I'm sitting at, and all that sort of thing, as well as ourselves. We're going to transition, and when that transition takes place, the transition is going to be of such a type of intensity that you're going to be uh, basically sitting there going, "Wow, man, I used to have a hand." Following. Now that's how intense it can. I didn't say it's going, but can be. All right, at first, so that we don't all go nuts. What we have now is what we're going to be dealing with. Basic
Okay.
need,
If there's
crazy.
some good movies that you want to recommend, well, Dot Connector already suggested Stargate. There's some good stuff in there.
And you
Anyway,
suggested Moonfall,
the
right?
Moonfall, yeah, that
Yeah.
was I enjoyed it. It's a edge of the seat type movie.
And that's
um,
recent. Yeah.
yeah, very recent, and you can rent it online if you want,
Yeah. And on
or
Amazon Prime.
you can buy it too. Was it free on Amazon Prime? Oh my God, did I pay
No,
for
it
it and
was
not have to?
$3.99.
Oh, okay.
$3.99 on
I
if you
paid
want
for it and
that.
I had
What do we do?
anyway.
We
Let
did.
me. I say I'm with Pudwhacker. Let's get the party started.
Yeah, man.
Oh
Seriously.
wow. Let's see.
Well, this chat is a party. I love it.
Yeah, I do
Thank you.
too. It's so much more fun since we started to be able to do this chat thing. It's just really fun. I enjoy it, and I really
Thank
love
you. Yes.
the participation. So thank you everyone so much for this.
Well, my favorite movie, since everybody's running up and down on that, is Mystery and Imagination. It's a combination of realism, sci-fi, and total imagination. What's the limit of your imagination? How far can you go with it? Okay, bingo.
Wow. That sounds
Wow, I gotta practice.
interesting.
It's funny because when we're young, your imagination tends to be discouraged and suppressed. Like if you're daydreaming in a classroom, you're going to get in trouble for that. Even if they're boring you to death, and you're thinking about something else, they'll probably ask you a question about what they were just talking about, and you don't know. I've been there, done that. But anyway, candidly, has a quick question: is there going to be 1,000 years of peace, as some say, or is evil eradicated once and for all?
Permanently gone.
Oh, thank you.
So
Thank
why
you.
are they just saying 1,000 years of peace then? I mean, if there
Because
was,
I'll tell you why. You
That's
have
the Bible.
no. It's even older than the Bible ever thought about being.
Okay. Well, it is in the Bible. Okay. Go ahead.
I didn't say it wasn't in the Bible. It's in the
Okay.
Bible. Now,
Okay.
I'm going to elucidate exactly to what the question really should be. Who says 1,000 years? Now, what you have to understand is you have 1,000,000,000 prophecies of this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And well, I'll tell you what, most of the old or ancient prophecies have been negated and or changed to something totally different.
And is there a reason for that? Uh-oh.
Did he draw?
No, he's frozen, which means he came back in. There you are. You froze for a minute there.
You can't have the same things in the same places at the same time. 47 Ronin explains that in the movie. And I would tell you to look at it.
Which movie are you talking about?
47 Ronin.
It's got
Oh.
that guy. What's his guy? The guy from the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What's
I'm
his
not much
name?
of a movie watcher,
The
to tell you
bald
the
guy.
truth. I don't.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I can't think of his name.
Oh,
Well, I think a lot of the
When you-
prophecies in the Bible were put in the Bible and written by Luciferian doctrine
no.
based on the Council of Nicaea. Now, let me finish. The
Council of
Council of
Nicaea, the reason the Council of Nicaea came up was because of things like the prophecy you got right here.
So it's older
That's
than
why
we think.
it came about.
It's older than we think. Is that what
Yeah.
what you're saying? Okay.
So,
have to
but you're
take
not going to tell me that the Bible was not edited and books removed by the Council of Nicaea, because I know
I didn't
that
say
it was.
that, but if you want to know the truth, it wasn't written by that friggin' council either.
Thank you. Well, I know.
Now, wait a minute. According to what they found out so far with decent scientific research, is simple. It was written, all of it, and you'll love this. All of this, I'll give you. Let's just use the Gospels. It's easier. You got to, the Gospels. Very
Okay.
simple. Okay. Here's how that worked. Each one of the Gospels, now try this, were both were written at the same time, and each one before the other one. And as far as I can tell, it was done by some sort of a type of computer. Nobody has any clue as to how it works. That's so far. So, if you want to really get into it, what's God's limit? Pretty simple. He can do that. I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when you say God, which God are you talking about?
The one who created this, the creator.
Prime creator, then, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the only way to describe a God. You got Yahweh and a bunch of other ones, and I have slapped their bony selves into detention because of the asinine things they've tried to perpetrate on humanity. I don't appreciate that very much. Neither did the people that gave me permission to slap them into detention. If you want to really get into it,
Yeah.
our creator, the one that created us, is no longer in communication with us for very specific reasons. You got to really dig deep to find that, but it is written down. So there you go.
Jupiter ascending. Did you see that one, Drake? That's a good one.
Which one?
Jupiter ascending
Yes.
is very close to the Earth story.
Yes.
I would agree. Good.
Gilgamesh is very close to the biblical stories too.
What, yoga?
That is a good movie.
Why can't I say that word? I don't know. It gets messed up in my mouth.
What word?
Say it, Drake.
Gilgamesh.
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 Gilgamesh. Okay. I don't know. I think when I got hit in the head with a bat, I think it affected my speech.
My
speech center.
A woman should, first of
You're
all, a
becoming
woman should never
you're
admit
becoming
that, and
telepathic.
a
That's
woman
what it
should
is.
never admit that, Gail. And secondly, I'm going to leave that alone.
Well, it's
I
no
like
worse
my
than you
day
getting
off.
dropped on your head.
Well,
Anyway, okay.
Oh
did
my
you find
gosh.
anything leaking out of an ear or anything?
We-
You know,
Oh my goodness.
we haven't fun yet. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm having fun. I hope everybody else is
I
too.
feel like I'm on outnumbered.
Oh, why? Because there's two women in the
Oh yeah,
chat.
that is one is
Well,
plenty.
it takes 2 on 1 for you, Drake.
Quit it.
You
You know
can
what?
handle it, Drake. That's why God did not put anything on you that you can't handle. Remember that.
Yeah,
My
I thought I heard
God.
somebody else say that earlier.
My
I
God,
think
God has
so.
God forsaken me. Oh Lord,
Oh,
cheated
well.
my old self to the
Oh, somebody
world.
says, I haven't seen it. Is this a movie? Because I haven't seen it, whatever it is. Enjoyed Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, that's a movie and it's very good. And if you get
Ooh.
get a hold of it, you need to get the old one because the old one doesn't have all the airy fairy special effects, but it tells more of the truth than any of the other ones
Oh,
do.
wow. How old are we talking about?
um, late 30s.
You might want to mute that when you cough there, Drake, if you can. But anyway, let's see. Watch The Free Guy. It's so much like real life, though it's a comedy. Free Guy, is that a movie or is that a
I don't
series?
know.
I
I
never
don't
heard
know.
of that one.
Never
I
heard of
don't
that
know.
one either.
Okay, well, I think we're getting to the point where it's about, well, let's see if there's any more questions because it's about time for us to call it a show. And this went on longer than we expected. Somebody's
I think
asking,
it was great. I had a blast. Thank you for
I've had a blast too, and it was enjoyable having you here. And you
Thank you.
still were able to do the chat, so I'm
I know. I don't know
impressed.
how this is happening. I do
Hmm.
not know how I'm doing it, but it's being done.
That's because you're a quick draw McGraw.
Yeah. Well, these guys
How?
are great.
Hey, hold on a minute.
Wait a minute.
Tinfoil Hatter. Here's your Randy Moggins. By the way, I saw him on a live stream recently. Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
Heard or just dusted?
I don't read it out loud. Drake, go ahead and read it out loud. I can't. I haven't.
Well, Tinfoil Hatter, I got a request. If you can get a hold of Randy Moggins, I've been trying, and he's changed his phone and whatnot, so I can't get a hold of him. If
Really.
you
I used
can,
to
get a
follow
hold
him.
of him. Huh?
I used to follow him on Facebook and Patreon and YouTube.
He's supposed to be a friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, he kind of dropped off the.
I can find. I'll
brand.
find him. I'll find him for you.
Okay. Anyway,
Are you
yeah.
talking about finding it now?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll email him.
Already, I think we need to call this a wrap, if you don't mind that terminology.
Is your brain coming out your ear now, or what's happening there?
It can't get out. Okay, I plug them up. It can't get
Plug
out.
your ears.
Ah,
Oh, what fun. We've had such fun. And thank you for being here. And thank you for everything.
yeah.
This makes it so much fun to do this. And
See, if you
it,
pick on me the right way, I turn the other cheek, among other things.
yeah. And thank you for anyone who has made a donation. It really helps. It really
needs
helps
the
a lot.
money. She needs the money.
Yes. Well, it costs to do all of this. It really does. But anyway, it's all good. I wouldn't ask for it if I didn't need it. I really wouldn't. Because when I first started, I never asked for anything, and I didn't know what I was doing either. But I figured it out in time.
Well, lady, I don't think you got a greedy bone in your body anywhere, nor intent and purpose of anything that's not the way it should be. And that's one of the reasons I'm on this show.
Thank you,
Everybody,
Drake. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you so much. And
That
thank
is
you.
really nice. Thank you. That
Thank
was
you.
really sweet.
Yes.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know.
everyone.
I don't know about that dot connector purple female up there. I just,
Well, We'll be working it out, Drake. Don't you worry.
Okay.
All right. We have to go because otherwise the show won't go up on Odyssey. Once you hit 2 hours, it won't go up. So thank you for being here. Bye, Drake. Thank you for filling in. It was exciting. It was great fun. So let me get to the ending here. And here we go. Oh, Drake, you're going to have to come back.
We'll stay.